Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Hilltop Pillbox in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. It's been a little while here, been pretty crazy for myself personally. For those of you who know, I was interviewing for a teaching position at a local high school, and I didn't get that one. But at the end of the interview, the principal whom I worked for the year before at a different school, he said there was another position opening up that's UFN, which means until further notice. So don't know how long it'll be, but looks like it'll be for a while. It's for social studies though, which is right in my wheelhouse. So doing social studies for grade 9, 10, 11, and trying to help the students understand what it means to be critical thinkers. That seems to be something that we've lost for a couple of generations here, where people just swallow things whole. And yeah, well, you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's interesting. We're going to get them diving in multiple sources, primary sources, as much as we can to try to figure out what really happened in certain parts of history. But they're fascinating courses. And I don't know what the curriculum's like in the States, but in Canada we've moved away from event-based curriculum in social studies. You still use the events, like you still talk about in Canada, our Confederation and some of the more polarizing figures like Louis Riel, Sir John A. Macdonald, who was our first Prime Minister. And we still talk about the U.S. Civil War, the Russian Civil War, lots of the conflicts, World War One, World War Two, of course, interwar period. But we just don't talk about thinking a bunch of facts and have them repeat those facts on test day. We really try to get them to dig deep and figure out why things happen. That's my focus all the time in my classes. Why do people do what they do? Not just what did they do and when did they do it and who did it. That's, the details are important. But if you only understand the details and you don't understand the motivation for it, you don't know how to recognize it in your own time and space. So that's what we're working on there. And I'm starting from scratch because I've never taught social studies in British Columbia. And so every day I'm doing about 3 to 5 hours of lesson planning, trying to get a month or two ahead here so that I can relax a little bit in a few months, or in a few weeks, pardon me. That's why I haven't posted anything in a while. So I apologize for that, but we're going to give you a quick video here on something people have been asking about. And so here we go. We're going to be talking about, of course, Global War 36 here from Historical Board Gaming. And for those of you who haven't seen anything about it, this is what I have done. People can do whatever they want with this. Some people have just done a file on their phones or on their tablets or laptops or whatever and play from that. But I've got, everything here has been printed in full color, and I've just sleeved it all. So it's just a really gorgeous rule book, though. It's probably one of the nicest ones you'll ever see. It explains everything very, very well. And as thick as this book is, there's, I don't know, somewhere around close to 80 pages. A lot of it is just talking about different things that you can do in the game, not what you have to. There's a lot of options in this game. And the nuts and bolts of it is probably on about 15 pages. And then the rest is, stuff on technology. And you might say, hey, we're not going to play with technology this game, or we're going to start in 1939, so you don't need to worry about the Spanish Civil War and all that sort of thing. So lots of different options for you there, but that's the full meal deal right there. And then in another one here, I've got my axis and strict neutrals. And so here are the sheets for all of them. And there's the neutrals, and of course Japan and Italy. Okay. And then we have the Allies and the Comintern. Okay, so those who are not familiar, the Comintern are the what we would call the Soviet communist type countries. Okay, so you've got Soviet Union, of course, and then you've got Communist China, right? And then, of course, their allies, ambivalent, I think is a good way of saying it, but their allies, the United States and the nationalist Chinese, who fight alongside of the communist Chinese, but there can be some interesting outcomes with that. And of course, you got France and the UK, the Far East Command, all those sorts of things. Okay, so I've just decided to put everything into binders, and whoever is on these teams can quickly grab it, flip through, and find what they need to find. All right. Again, however you want to set it up is up to you. But the last thing I'm going to show you here is the last binder I'm going to show you anyway, is on the expansions. And these are the different expansions that you can get right now. I believe there are 26 expansions that you can get. And what an expansion is it comes like this, and I've full color and sleeve these as well, is they have a description, the history of why this is an expansion in the game. And again, these are all optional. And I know some guys who have contacted me, and they say, hey, we play with every expansion that we've got all the time, and we just love the richness that it brings to the game. Other people say, hey, we do one expansion per game, and that's sort of the focus of that game, and then we'll do a different expansion the next game. So, you know, whatever floats your boat, folks. It's a beautiful thing about this game is the options that you have, and how everything does work together very nicely, very fluid. Okay, but this one here I'm going to point out specifically. So again, this is the Fascist Croatia at War Global War expansion. Okay, and it gives you the talk about the whole thing here, and then it has the set content. So this is what you're given along with the rules. So the rules you just download on your own from the website. You don't need to buy the expansion to get the rules. But if you want to get the specialized markers, units, tokens, and whatnot, then you do have to purchase the expansion. So what I do is I grab everything and I just put it into a little Ziploc bag here. You know, just go ahead and you can do that. And I've got lots of different expansions, and they just go into Ziploc bags. But here, we'll just look here first. So we'll start at the top. So the Croatian map section overlay. And what that is this thing. Okay. Again, this is made of the, you can hear that, the same plastic that the all the technology sheets and the battle boards and whatnot are all made out of. So it's a very, very sturdy thing. It's not going anywhere. It's not made out of cardboard or paper or something. This is going to last, so if you spill your drink on it, you'll be all right. So this is what the board looks like with the initial setup. No problem. That's what the map is printed as. But if you're going to play with Croatia at war, things are going to change a little bit. So you see we've got Hungary and Romania, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, and Albania. All right, well, the overlay changes things a little bit. Okay, changes things a little bit. So Yugoslavia has disappeared. It's now broken up into a few different places. Okay, Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary are all still there, but now Yugoslavia's been broken up into Slovenia and Croatia and Serbia. And Albania, you know, got to stretch its legs a little bit there, but really it doesn't change anything. And Slovakia is tacked on as well because that is an integral part of the expansion. You can see that the railways match up perfectly. Okay, so you can see that they match up so that when you want to continue playing and you want to make sure you got the railways all set up properly, that works for you. Okay, and then it tells you with what to do with the units. So if we look here, sorry, we're going to head back. Hope you're not getting dizzy. So that's the overlay. Then we got the SS Mountain Division, the 7th, 13th, and 21st SS Divisions, the Mountain Divisions. So there they are right now. So they're very specific to this game. Okay, pretty gorgeous, really nicely cut there. Then we have the Chetnik partisan marker. It says ×1. I have 4 here because the partisans can grow nicely, but there you go. They partisan markers. Okay. So again, if you purchase this, you'll just get the 1. Okay. So I'll just do that. And then, oh, okay. Sorry, folks. It's early on a Saturday, so I'm on my time off, as it were. That's the partisan markers. These are Yugoslavian partisans. I even set these up in the right order. This is the Chetniks. Okay, the Chetniks, of course, sided with the Germans during the occupation of Yugoslavia. Okay, so the partisans were fighting the Germans and the Chetniks. Okay, so screwed that up. Some of you were probably yelling at the screen, "You're doing it wrong." Well, there you go. There's the Chetnik partisan marker, and then the 4 Yugoslav partisan markers. Early morning. All right, and then here, of course, we have a militia marker to round out what is part of the expansion. Okay, but the markers themselves really add to the flavor, so I highly recommend purchasing that. They the rules are so beautifully written up that you have no doubt about what you're supposed to do with everything. You can see that the SS tokens are matched up here, and the Chetniks are matched up. The partisan markers are matched up. Okay, and it tells you everything about them, what you need to know. Okay, and it tells you all the specific rules for each of the examples, or each of the units, pardon me. And so that's just for the Croatia War, the fascist Croatia War. So that's what you get. Good stuff. I won't belabor that, but you know, if you want to spice up the game, you know, it's a great way to do it. And as far as storage goes, like I say, I just keep everything in a little baggie. That all fits, not the overlay, of course, but those things fit in the bag. And then I've got one here. This is secret subs. I don't know if you can read that. So all the nations have little secret subs and secret sub bases that you can place in different spots. There is Operation Sea Lion. So you can see you got some chemical warfare going on there and some radar stations. There's some German landing craft units. Here's one over in China. So Manchukuo, all right. They've got some pretty interesting things there. You got river patrol boats, which is unique to that one. And then you have a fun one. This one here is kind of fun. Might actually open this one up a little bit here. This is some funky stuff that the Germans were working on in secret. I suspect it's alternate reality. But they're working on things like, you know, building UFOs. So there's a nice little sculpt there. Not sure if that's showing up well. They had their secret bases in the Antarctic. All right, they've got all these nifty little things. They've got these, you know, your rocket planes, your soldiers who have packs on their back, go flying around and zorching people. So you get a couple of those. And there you go. All right, so just lots of nifty things that you can place and have a lot of fun with. So I like that one. That's kind of a neat one. And makes Antarctica, and Antarctica is a part of the game. Right? Here it is at the bottom of the world. Right, so they do make it into something that you actually bring into the game. So that's kind of an interesting expansion as well. But there you go, folks. Quick little update for myself and some of the stuff that you can get for yourself at Historical Board Gaming, and highly recommend getting some of these things to spice up your game and just have a great time with it. Now, some people have also asked about buying expansions to go with the 39 game, and some of you even wanted to cross over to Global 40. I personally love to see as much creative imagination out there as possible. Hey, I'm a teacher, right? I want to see people just having a great time and trying all sorts of different things. So that's why we have all of this, is because people try stuff. Right? They just try. And sometimes you get done, you say, how did we not play the game with this, 20 years ago? How come nobody figured this out? Because it's so cool. So there's the one with the secret base down in the Antarctic. There's your, okay. And they tell you the overview of it, not so much historical as much as fantastical. But it's a fun little one too. But again, folks, if you want to do crossover stuff, if you want to try to add things to your game, hey, talk it over with your game group. Or don't talk it over with them. Just say, hey, this is what we're doing today. And just let them have some fun with it and see how it goes. And you'll know after one game, probably after a couple of turns of some of these, you'll know if you want to implement them on a regular basis. Or I also know that you can, let's say you have 12 expansions or maybe 6 expansions, just roll a die. And that's the one you're going to use that day, or roll it twice and you'll use those too. However you guys want to figure that out. Just lots of options, and love to hear what people do. Love to hear which ones are your favorites and why. And if you let me know, and you throw your comments up here on YouTube, that'll let Historical Board Gaming know. Let Doug and Will know what you guys like to do as well. And then, hey, they'll make more stuff, and they'll go for more. And I know that they are always willing to listen to ideas. If you have any about what would be a good one to have. Someone had commented on my channel just a little while ago, and I replied recently about Harry Turtledove and his alternate history. So if you ever haven't read The War That Came Early, it's a 6-book series, which sounds like a lot of reading, but trust me, you'll sit down and you'll just start reading, and you just will not want to stop if you're into any sort of a fantasy history about World War II. It is a fantastic, crackling good read, and I tell you, that would be an interesting game to play. And you'll know what I mean if you pick up and read. I'm not going to do any spoilers here, because I don't believe in those. I like people to read for themselves. But anyway, folks, that's it for me today. Take care. Make sure you hug your loved ones. Have a great time playing your games. Let everybody know that they're special to you. And may the dice be with you.